Welcome to Kush News, the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's look at today's news on Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. We go to Sudan, where another ceasefire has been announced. Sudan's warring parties have agreed to a 72-hour ceasefire after mediations by international communities. Following intense pressure by international communities, the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces have agreed to implement a nationwide 72-hour ceasefire that has started on April 24th and lasts 72 hours. The coordination of a ceasefire would help committees to oversee a permanent ceasefire agreement, as well as a humanitarian effort to arrange across the country of Sudan. Israel offered to host Sudan's warring parties for talks in an effort to put in place a lasting ceasefire. Israeli foreign minister had stated in a statement that Israeli officials had led a very promising mediation effort over the past few days. Israel and Sudan finalized last February a deal normalizing ties, turning the page on decades of animosity towards each other. Since fighting erupted in the country, Israel has been operating in various channels to reach a ceasefire, and the progress over the few days is in discussions with sides is very promising, a statement had read. Also to note that Israel has also been ousted and called under scrutiny by nations of Algeria and South Africa for its treatment towards Palestinians during the month of Ramadan. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned this week that the violence erupting in Sudan for over a week risked catastrophic consequences within Sudan that could engulf the entire region and beyond. Guterres' speech came as United Nations continues its evacuations efforts inside the country. We have troops in foreign countries, an official said, where we have military bases, and this is a quite good and coordinated effort. And we somehow have cooperative relationship with both parties. They seem to be helpful and do not disturb us with the evacuations. The second week of fighting in Khartoum between forces loyal to Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and Mohammed Hamdan, aka Hameti, who commands the Rapid Support Forces, continues. At least 420 people have been killed and more than 3,000 injured so far. Hameti's Rapid Support Forces emerged from the Janjaweed fighters that former leader of Sudan, Omar al-Bashir, had unleashed in the Darfur region. The military toppled Bashir back in 2019 in a coup, and the two generals then seized power from a council trying to usher in more democratic rule. They later turned on each other, and more recently in December over the dispute over planned integration of the Rapid Support Forces into the National Army. Several truces have been made this week and proposed, but in recent days have not been upheld. Those in Sudan, let us know your feelings towards a 72-hour ceasefire and if you feel that this one will stick around. Let's go to Southern Africa, specifically in Malawi, as they continue to vaccinate. Officials from the Ministry of Health in Malawi say that 1.5 million under 5 children have received at least one dose of malaria vaccines in the country. The government is piloting a malaria vaccine in several districts. Secretary for Health Samson Ndolo has revealed that the development in a statement comes ahead of the 2023 World Malaria Day, which falls on April 25th. The theme this year is the time to deliver zero malaria, invest, innovate, and implement. According to the Secretary of Health in Malawi, the theme empowers communities and health service providers to make sure that they ultimately commit to saving lives and ensure that communities in Malawi thrive by ending malaria. The events marking the day will take place at the Kabudula Community Ground in Lilongwe District. Those in Malawi, let us know how you feel, and congratulations on making the efforts go further with trying to end malaria. And let's go to the Caribbean. The man who came up with the idea of We Are the World and Grammy Award-winning single that had raised money for famine relief in East Africa and protested against apartheid in South Africa has died. Harry Belafonte, an activist, singer, actor, was 96 years old when he had passed away and used his fame for the fight of civil rights and humanitarian activism. The American-born Caribbean had spent his early years both in New York and the West Indies. By the early 1960s, he was the highest paid black performer. Harry Belafonte's activism led him to support the boycott of South Africa in the 1980s, and he was part of the anti-famine efforts in Africa, including a live aid concert in London back in 1985 and the We Are the World recording. The video interview 20 years later stated that he was leading up to the challenge by ending famine. The cause of death was reported as a heart failure. We here at Kush News want to celebrate somebody like Harry Belafonte. Me, myself, I knew him as a singer. Such a song as Sonora and Banana Boat. So rest in peace, rest in power, Harry Belafonte. Let's keep it in the Caribbean and go to Guyana. The Guyanese government says that the balance of petroleum revenues paid to the National Resource Fund in the country at the end of last month stands at $1.46 billion US. A statement from the Ministry of Finance noted that the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gail Texera, on Monday told that the notification of receipts to Parliament on behalf of the Finance Minister on all platforms paid during the month of January 1st to March 31st. The act was strengthened back in 2021, replacing the act back in 2019. The Ministry of Finance also said last year that a total of $607 million was withdrawn from the fund to finance national development priorities. A further $1 billion is projected to be withdrawn also from this year. Those in Guyana, let us know on how you guys feel about the petroleum revenue and how you feel that has improved or moved forward the economy in your guys' country. Let's go to St. Vincent. Talk about Carnival. The chairman of the Carnival Development Cooperation, Ricardo Adams, announced on Monday that the Carnival Development Cooperation has officially partnered with Caribbean Airlines as the carrier for Vincent 2023. According to a statement from the Agency of Public Information, he was quoted by saying that this is something that we've been working on quite a while, and they're really happy to welcome the Caribbean Development Corporation and Caribbean Airlines together. I know that this is a big step in additional airlift out of the seaboard of Canada and the Caribbean. Adams, who spoke at the media conference, said that there has been improved air access in 2023 with a growing number of airlines and increased schedules. There will be a need to optimize room, as well as most hotel rooms are sold out during Carnival season. Vincent Carnival for St. Vincent runs from June 30th to July 11th in Canada. Those in St. Vincent, let us know how you feel. That is pretty awesome. And let Kush News know on if we can come and cover some live Carnival. We want to get on those floats too, maybe break it down. Yeah. We end today's newscast with the African proverb of the day. And it comes to us from no particular tribe or ethnic group. And it reads, "The earth is a beehive. We all enter by the same door." Once again, the earth is a beehive. We all enter by the same door. Is that why we are also busy? Let me know your interpretations of today's African proverb of the day, as well as your views, questions, comments, and concerns on the top stories Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for today and any other time that we upload an episode. Also, follow us on our Twitter at Kush_News1. Again, that's Kush_News1. Upcoming weeks, we want to hold weekend Twitter spaces for people in our audience that want to chime in on the top stories of the week. For Kush News on Kush Convos TV, I'm Ochanda. We'll see you soon.